Your business already has a ton of happy clients, but do you have the receipts to prove it? Are you sharing your success stories in a way that makes potential buyers actually want to work with you? And I'm not talking about quotes on your website or PDF case studies that are buried that no one honestly actually ever reads. That's social proof 101, and it's 2026, and you need to be doing more than just the bare minimum to get noticed, to build trust, and ultimately to close deals. In this video, I'm going to show you how to collect customer stories and honestly, relearn social proof for B2B marketing. You're going to learn how to create customer stories that actually get seen, that build trust, move the needle, and turn your current clients into your best sales reps. I've spent the last 14 years in B2B marketing, and I've seen this more times than I can count. Companies sitting on amazing customer stories and not doing anything with it when it could be driving visibility and closing deals. That's not going to happen to you. So let's get started. So before we get into how to create a customer story, we have to understand what makes a good customer testimonial and how it actually converts. Most customer testimonials fail because they're too generic. Great to work with isn't super compelling. What actually converts is specificity. And specificity about the customer story, the pain point, showing the real before and after, and the emotional transformation that happens along the way. Amazon reviews can be a great place to see what customer testimonials look like in action, and I found a funny one that I wanted to share with you. I'll read it now. This is for a ceiling fan that somebody bought. The title is, "Survived Landing on During Adult Wrestling." This fan is very sturdy and easy to put back together after a night out in town and falling off a bed onto the spinning blades of death during adult wrestling. Would recommend to a fellow fan crusher, managed to survive 2 persons falling onto it. 10 out of 10 smash, BT dubs. This is so specific, and not many people are going to be the type of people adult wrestling and falling on fans. But it conveys something very specific. You can envision this story that's happening. If you don't do adult wrestling, maybe you have kids and you understand how things can get destroyed easily. It conveys how sturdy this product is, and it tells, oh, if it breaks, you can easily put it back together. And all of that was from a quick customer story that's super compelling, authentic, and no marketing team could make this up. So these types of reviews don't have to just live in D2C. B2B can have really great customer stories. They might be a little less funny, but they can still be compelling. So I'm going to read you 2 examples of the same review, but told totally differently. The first is, "This platform is great. It's easy to use and has really helped our e-commerce business." Okay, it's nice, but blah. Here's a different version. "Launching promotions used to require 3 separate tools, 2 late-night Slacks, and at least 1 reporting error. 2 weeks after switching, we launched our spring campaign in a single afternoon and increased checkout conversions by 18% without adding ad spend. Now my team spends their time testing ideas instead of fixing spreadsheets." What does that tell you? It tells you a very clear before and after, and the pain points were very specific. Everybody has felt the pain of having to Slack somebody late at night and get something out the door. It shows frustration, and it shows the result of not having that frustration. What can you spend your time on now that you're not worried about getting this campaign live? I think ultimately it shows you the dream scenario of what your life could be, and that's what customers really need to see, is if I use this product, what will my life be like? So now that you know the elements of a good customer story, let's talk about the medium. Having it in written form is great, but having it in video form, that is the gold standard of customer interviews. Because video content is the gold standard when it comes to creating authenticity and building trust with your audience. Video testimonials can be really daunting for a lot of teams, but it doesn't have to be. Great video content doesn't need to be as complicated as you think. With the right tech and setup, you can create really great videos on a low budget. 1, you do not need a studio to create really amazing content. An iPhone and a tripod will get you 90% of the way there. 2, the goal of these videos is not a Super Bowl ad. You're not hiring professional actors. You're actually doing the opposite. You're trying to capture authentic moments and authentic conversations with your customers. There should be no pressure. It should be just another Tuesday talking to your favorite person. 3, there's a couple things you'll want to think about in creating the format and structure of your interview. The first is to make sure you start out with questions that are just easy and conversational. What's your name? What do you do? How do you use the product? It really creates this relaxed environment that they can answer these questions without thinking. Next, you're going to want to ask questions that are a bit more detailed and draw out a story. You're going to ask them what life was like before they used your product. Ask them what the main pain points were, the triggers that made them look for a solution to solve their problem. When did they know they actually had a problem? Next, you're going to ask them why they chose you over your other competitors, or what made them almost not choose you. Contrary to what you may be thinking, it's not about instilling doubt in your potential clients. It's actually about drawing out a thoughtful story and allowing them to see the journey and that they actually chose you for a very valid reason. And those details matter in the customer journey. Lastly, end with this question. If a peer was looking at our solution to help solve a similar problem, why would you recommend us over somebody else? This is going to give you a very specific snapshot that you can then use across your entire marketing. This is the gold. By the way, if you need help creating these videos or capturing compelling client stories, this is exactly what we do. Follow the link in the description below to see if we can help. Now that you have your video, let's talk about where you distribute it. Most people put customer testimonials or case studies on a page in their website. That is only going to be seen by a very specific group of people who are actively vetting if they want to work with you or not. What about using that social proof up the funnel? Video is an amazing way to capture attention and gain visibility on unknown channels like social media or through your client's network. Instead of using testimonials on one page of your website, make sure that you're using social proof across your site, especially at key conversion points, like when they're filling out a form on the website. Or what I like to do is I back every point I make up with a logo, a stat, a quote, or a video. That way, I'm building trust with every point I make. I have the receipts to back it up. Another thing to keep in mind is that customer videos are evergreen. They never go out of style. Another topic when it comes to distribution, you should be leveraging your clients to refer you business. We all know that referral business is the best type of business out there. There's already this inherent trust in it. But what if you could turn your clients into micro-influencers? You don't have to wait for them to just happen to be talking about your product or your solution. You can ask them to share with their digital network. This is how a good client testimonial turns into a full referral engine. When a client shares their story with their network, you're not paying to reach a cold audience. You're being introduced to a warm audience that inherently trusts you because of the trust you've already built with your current client. Your client's LinkedIn network is full of peers that look like them, that talk like them, and who have problems like them. You have access to that through your clients. Imagine what happens when a client shares their story and tags you. There's automatic trust there. It feels authentic. And the best part is you don't need to pay them. You don't need to pay for this network. You're building a relationship with them and you're capturing a story and you're allowing them to share their story and their wins with their network. And remember, the goal is to remove as much friction as possible for your clients. So consider writing the caption for them or at least getting them a starting point that they can then edit from there. Make sure you give them the right size image and the right links with all tracking so that you can keep track of what's working with your referral network. And here's a tip for business owners with a local client base. Invite them in for a customer appreciation event. Spoil them with drinks, food, gifts, and then ask a few over to have a conversation, a recorded conversation. You're then batching your content and getting all of your client interviews done in one fell swoop. You get multiple stories, face-to-face time with your VIP clients, and you reduce the friction it takes to coordinate the meetings and set up these video calls. Here's the thing, your customers would love to tell your story. They just need someone to ask the right questions, draw out the right stories, and create the environment for them to do so. If you need help capturing your customer stories so that you can grow your business and multiply more of the clients you like working with, check out the link in the description. And if this was useful for you, go check out the video on the next screen. It's 14 years of my B2B marketing experience shared in one video. See you there. Bye.